Man. All
Figure.
right, let's talk about that. Your time, Delaware State University, Gamma
Yeah.
Sigma chapter.
Yes.
What was it that led you to Alpha? Coming on campus, seeing the yard, seeing the brothers. What was the some of the early experiences that led you to the chapter, to the
Man,
frat?
I'm so glad you asked the question. I saw it and I was like, this is great. Because the cool thing was I was a leader as a freshman. I mean, I was
Mm.
freshman class president. I was drum major of Delaware State's band as a sophomore.
Oh, okay.
So I had some whatever, some zoom
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. You got some
But
swag to you.
some swag, a little bit of
Yeah,
swag.
yeah.
And they called me country cool back in the day because I'm from Richmond. So, but what I loved about it was is that when I got on the scene, I mean, I was pretty cool with most of the upperclassmen, the other Greeks, but Alpha Phi Alpha, both from a national, international perspective, even down to the campus, the brothers that were there were just very cool. They were uh, ambassador like. They could get with brothers who were progressives, but deal with the folks who were conservative. They were respected and respected majors. They had been leaders and leaders of student government. All of the intricate pieces of leadership that you would see, they represented. And what I also liked about them is that they didn't really press me.
Mm,
I had to press them.
yeah.
And I'm not saying this in an arrogant way, but the Kappas and the Omegas, they were trying to talk to me a little bit. They saw my leadership or whatever, and I'm like, okay, cool. But when it really came down to it, I had to come to Alpha,
Mm,
and that humbled me in the sense of saying, okay, and while I made sure that I made the right decision, it wasn't about me waffling. I wanted to make sure that I was ready to do and be all in when I returned. And my line brothers give me the business about it today. Well, you went home over the summer to think about it. No, if anything, it was just to prepare myself because I
right.
knew it was going to be formidable.
So what year, what semester did you do it?
Fall of 1986.
Okay. Fall
And
of '86.
it was originally going to be what we thought was going to be four of us that would go on after all of the dust shook out and interest meeting the smokers and all.
Mm.
But it turned out to be in one of our good friends, and I mean, we love him still to this day. He's a good dude, good brother. He couldn't do it, and we said, "Come on, we'll hold you up." But he made that choice.
Hmm.
But the three of us made a pact, and we are still close now,
Wow.
35 years later.
Wow.
I will see both of them tomorrow when I fly to Atlanta to take my daughter to Spelman,
Oh, nice.
she will be on campus this semester. And but both of my LBs live in Chicago, live in Atlanta. One was near me, and at one point we always were at least two of us in the city. So,
Okay.
but we have maintained a very close relationship after 35 years, even.
And that's a great story because we often talk about on Mac Offline brotherhood, which is the building block of the whole organization and probably the cornerstone to many of our experiences entering the organization. What are some of the things that if you could talk about or speak on a couple memories that you reflect on, whereas like you say you keep in contact with your lbs to this day, is there something or a time or a moment or a situation that you reflect on some days that kind of take you back to that place, like you're driving, you hear a song, or you
Ah,
see a landmark, or there's something that just reminds you to that time?
It's ironic. It's ironic you would mention it that way because pledged in the fall. There are many things. I'll give you a couple.
Okay.
When I smell sandalwood incense, that always used to be the incense of choice in the dorm or whatever. And it took me back to the fall. When I listen to Miles Davis, I hear Fall, his actual cut from his
Hmm.
album
Yes.
Nefertiti.
Yep.
I think about it. But my LBs and I all were trombone players in the band.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and David did march, but Kevin and I came in together, who was number one. I'm the deuce, and David Beasley's the Trey. And we were, when I watched Star Trek, number one was Captain Kirk, I was Dr. McCoy, and number three was Spock. And but the album was Wynton Marsalis's Hot House Flowers.
Wow. Okay.
That album had been released in 1984, and two of the three of us, particularly number one, Kevin Martin and I, listened to it all the time. So whenever I hear Django or I hear Hot House Flowers or Stardust, I'm I'm catapulted in time back to being online and being in the library in the fall in Dover, Delaware. It's amazing. It's just sweet memories at this point, and it
Yeah.
just kind of makes you well up. It's like our hymn says, college days swiftly
Quickly
pass,
pass. Yeah.
imbued with memories fond. And I'm finding out that the recollection slowly
Slowly
fades
fades
away.
away. Yeah. But
So
there,
Imp and Herbie were on
yeah.
it, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, yeah, and but
Yeah.
some of those moments really stand out, and kind of I'll catch myself and I'll be like, ah, man, I remember that song, and I remember what
When
we
did
used
you
to say.
cross? When did you
Spring
cross?
'95, Spring
Okay.
'95, yeah,
And what chapter?
New Kappa, UMBC,
Okay.
key number
Yeah.
473, yeah.
Yes, yes. Dr.
So yeah,
Hrabowski's
absolutely, yeah.
campus.
So my
Phoenix.
freshman year, he was just installed as
Mhm.
university president, and
I remember, I
yeah,
remember in the Meyerhoff Scholarship
yep,
Program, and
yep,
but what I knew about Dr. Hrabowski is that he pledged at Gamma Iota in '68.
yes,
And I'm from Richmond, Virginia, so one of my mom's high school mates was the dean of arts and sciences there, and but Hrabowski's from her era.
yes,
So it's Dr. DePriest, who's now deceased. He wasn't an alpha man, but a good dude